Good evening. Welcome everyone to tonight's session. It's all about Wireshak. I know most of us might have heard of the name Wireshak. And just to make it very simple tonight, Wireshak is a free and open source packet analyzer. You don't have to pay for it. It's available free for everyone to use. And what Wireshak do is that just like it said on the document here, it says it analyzes network. It helps us to see if our network is secure. It helps with network troubleshooting. And here are some of the specific examples of how Wireshak is being used. To capture network traffic, we can use that to capture even our Wi-Fi at home. It's very helpful for us to see all the connections that all our devices in our house, our tablets, our mobile phones, desktop laptops, it helps to control, even as parents, what our kids, all the websites they are accessing. Sometimes I do it for my own son as well. Sometimes I'll just go to Wireshak, I'll scan out the network and I'll just tell him, you visited this site. It will be shocked, like, how did you know? So it helps us to control the network that we browse on our systems, on our phones. It helps us to see what the communication is like between this network, what data, what information are they sharing. It also helps to troubleshoot domain names. If there's any issue with any domain name, it helps us to go there, run the packet, and see where the problem is. It also helps in detecting malware. You can look for anything that looks suspicious in the packet tracer. You can look at the data, and by analyzing it, you can see if something is actually wrong in this network traffic pattern. So it's also good to also check how many devices or applications are consuming excessive bandwidth. Sometimes when the network is slow in organization or even at home, sometimes you can run it and check if there is a particular application that is consuming so much bandwidth and is making the network to be unnecessarily slow. So that way you can take it off from the network. It's also good to examine different protocols. This is where our networking will come in handy tonight. We'll be looking at different areas of networking because without the knowledge of networking, no matter how basic it is, it will be impossible for us to analyze the network. So all the things we've learned, the OSI model, TCP IP, this is where we're going to practicalize everything tonight. So helps to examine protocols, like I've mentioned there, TCP IP, the HTTP, and it's also good for compliance and auditing because in organizations, captures are kept, from time to time, they are being run and they are being archived just to see that organization comply with certain security protocols. Maybe it is required that every week they have to run the analysis on the network to see traffic that is coming in and out of the organization. Imagine if someone that is assigned to do that work did not carry it out. So from there, they will know that there is a gap in security issues. And with the help of Wireshak as a tool, this can be very helpful. And it also helps to verify encryption. If you want to see if there is proper encryption on some files, like password that are being stored, if they are secured perfectly on your database, you can use Wireshak to analyze. It's used for so many things. These are just a few examples of what Wireshak is used for. So to perform basic and simple network analysis using Wireshak, I want everyone to start. We're going to open Wireshak right now. So I'll show us how this is the icon on my own. So I'm going to just close it. And it was opened before. And now here is how it looks like. Once you open it, this is what you're going to see. If you are new to it, you might not see all this space that I have opened because I've opened some files earlier on. So that's why I have all these ones open. So what you might probably see is just starting from this capture, and you also have the rest. So if we look at this area here where we have all interface shown, it shows all your wired Bluetooth, wireless, anything network, all the interface on the device or on the network that Wireshak can capture. And if you, as you can see, the first one here is the Wi-Fi. Obviously, I'm connected to Wi-Fi. If there are other network adapter, any other Ethernet that you're connected to, Wireshak is going to give you the options to say which one of this interface do you want to analyze, which one do you want to capture. So for tonight, since I'm connected to Wi-Fi, we're going to analyze the Wi-Fi on this device. So there's another option here. Like I said, sometimes it might be too much when you're capturing a lot of data. With the help of filter comes really in handy. It helps you to focus on what is important. Instead of you to say, okay, I want to filter, imagine filtering for the whole organization might take a long time before the capture will be completed. So in order for you to work smartly, or in order for you not to waste time sorting out and analyzing all the data later, you can just filter it and say, let's say, for example, I just want to filter, let's say port 80, which is just HTTP traffic. Or you can just say, I'm filtering a particular host. Probably if you've known the IP address, you can put it there. You understand? And once you're done, you just click on your Wi-Fi and just start your capturing. So that's one way you can do it. Other than that, for just starting tonight, we're just going to click on the Wi-Fi. What you just need to do is just double click it. Okay, so just a moment. Just okay. That's port 80. If we all remember, port 80 is HTTP. That's an unsecured port. If you look at the bottom of the screen, it says live capture in progress. There are some files that have already been captured. You can also save them, and Wireshak files are known as pickups. With time, you'll be hearing there's a pickup file that has been captured and saved. So you can also be asked to analyze files that have been saved previously, and they can also ask you to run like a live capture. Right now, why is there no packet? It's because I'm not on the internet. I'm not on I'm not browsing. I think aside from this Zoom, let me see, the Zoom. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to, let's see. Okay. Okay, let's just go to, okay, let me just go to, let's say, Act the Box. Okay. I'll go back to my Wireshak now. And I'm going to start. Can anybody tell me why nothing is happening? Because I've set the filter to port 80, and when I open Act the Boss is a secured website. It's HTTPS, so there is nothing that is going to run on the connection is secure. So except I'm on a website that have HTTP traffic, that is when Wireshak, and because I've limited the filter to just sort out traffic that is what for HTTP connection. So I'm just going to go back right now. I'm not going to add any filter again, and I'm just going to run it normally. So I'll close the filter, come back to my Wi-Fi. Can we see now? So the filter is very helpful. It helps you to narrow down what you're looking for. So this way, it has started scanning everything. So all the browsers, everything I have open, most of them are probably, yeah, secured network, secured websites or DNS. So it's running everything now. So all the sites, even for every member of the family, wherever they had now, whatever sites they are browsing, Wireshak is capturing everything. So it's telling us what time, what IP address they're connected to, what is the port number, as you can see on the screen. So it's going to give us everything. You might not have to wait for it to finish. So what we need to do, I'll just quickly take us through how you can stop it. If you see this red button here, it says stop capturing. And at the bottom, we can see it's displayed that we've captured 11,655 packets just now. We've captured 11,655 packets. So here are the packets that have been captured. There are so many things we can do with it, because you can start looking at it that where do I even start? What am I looking out for? And just like I've mentioned, if someone can help me to open the, okay, let me just see. Just go back here. We've talked about starting Wireshak, and there's an image here that I put here, just like I've explained this one. Okay, let's go. Okay, here is an example of a packet that has just been captured. So let's see what we can do from here. There are so many things we can do from here. Let's look at, for example, if you go up, let me just go up completely. So I'll quickly explain these columns. The first one is just the serial number. Tells us that when the first packet started, that's the time there. If anyone is having any variance in the columns on your own, you can tell me. There's a way you can edit the columns, take away what you don't want to make sure you have the right columns for your data analysis, because sometimes there might be so many and you might not need some of them. So just to make sure you filter them also to reflect exactly what you want to look at. So you'll be needing things like serial number, the time the capture started or the data was sent, the source IP address, where is the data requested from, where is the destination from the web server, the ports, like we can see. Who remember this port 443? What kind of port is that? Anyone? 443.
Secured
Yeah,
HTTPS.
HTTPS. That's very good. Yeah, that's a secured. So it tells us that the source is asking on a secured port, the destination to this IP address. The protocol here is a TCP. What's TCP? Do we still remember the difference between TCP and UDP? Anyone? We'll be testing our networking skills tonight because we need it to analyze all this data we are seeing here. So we'll look at the protocols, the length of the packet, the host. We have some information here. We'll be analyzing them one after the other. What is the basic thing that you can be asked to analyze? The first thing, as simple as it is, they can ask you to tell us the source IP address. What you need to do is just to go to the first item on the packet you've just captured. And as you can see, they can ask you what was the time that it started. If in case there's an incident that happened, they'll ask you, when did it start? You have to look at the number one, the serial number. This is the time you're going to quote. Because in your report, you're going to write a report. If an incident happened, you start with that. It started at 2015 on the 23rd of 11, 2024, when a source IP address connected to another destination. You have to give all those reports, looking for the right information in your packet captured to tell the story of how the incident happened, or to give a report of what happened, which devices or which computers on the network are affected. You are going to tell us the name of the computer, because why you need all this information is in case there is an incident, they need to quickly remove that machine or that particular computer from the network before it's spread out. So you need to quickly swing into action and start looking at it, which of this is infected. So that is where Wireshak comes in handy. Once you can detect it immediately, they will just remove the device from the system. That way they can contain the infection. I hope I'm making sense. Please, if there's any question,
Sure.
just put it in the chat box. So the first question they can ask you, what is the source IP and to what destination? If we still remember our IP, void, virus total, we can go check the destination. Where is this destination? Copy the IP address and just quickly put it into virus total, put it into IP void to check where the request is being asked, or where the source IP address is asking or connecting to. I hope I'm making sense on that. So another question that can be asked is, can you tell us all the HTTP? Let's see, there's another filter column here. You can also use this area of this filter to, let's see, again, we can sort out all the HTTP. Let's see. It's still not giving us any HTTP. Okay, look, and try. There are lots of filters. There are some of them. Once you type on it, it will give you the options. And with time, you don't have to cram anything. With time, you'll know which one to use. And once you get a hang of which one to use, you can, I'll show you how to save them. I have some of, like 2 of them I saved here. Let me just quickly show you. If you look at the top right corner here, once you save them, what you just need to do is just to click on it. It's going to put the filter there for you, and you just press enter and find whatever thing you need to find. But in the meantime, let's look at a simple, you want to look for port 80. Let's just look for TCP stream that is port 80. Like I said, there is no HTTP, just HTTP traffic on this one that I captured, because I probably have not gone to any website today that have HTTP server, like the domain is just HTTP. So, but there are different, you can also search with IP address. Another thing that would be very useful is also for you to get familiarized with the IP addresses of some of the devices in your own environment, or even the device that you're using yourself. So that way, even by analyzing the network, you can know your own IP address. You understand? I think I can't remember which one is near mine. I think probably mine would probably be this, yeah, the destination, yeah. So this way, you can know which IP address you're analyzing from the ones in your own environment, or you can decide to choose anyone from this one and go to, let's say, for example, we can pick this one. Let's see, copy, okay, anyone, that's, we can just quickly go to, okay, let's go to virus total. So we have this IP address. I think that should be 192. Sorry, just quickly check. 159.1.2.42. 112. Can we see? Do you remember I connected to Zoom before I joined the meeting? So it's from Zoom, the IP address is Zoom, And obviously, no one has flagged it as being malicious. You understand? So some packets can just be as innocent as possible, but then it doesn't mean there won't be other packets that are malicious. So that's another way you can just quickly randomly check and see the IP addresses. Like I said, once you know the ones that probably peculiar to your own Wi-Fi, like your own phone, your laptops, your computer, the other ones that probably you're not familiar, we can just quickly run a random, yeah. Okay, about the colors, I'll quickly talk about the colors. There are different colors that can come when you capture a file. Most of the times, it doesn't really mean when you see the red or the other colors that probably there's a problem, but it's a color code that is being used just to sometimes probably when the network is not captured on time, it will give like a flag, or maybe when the packets are dropping, things like that. So I'll just quickly go to, I think it should be on the view, yeah, coloring rules. So if you want to take a look, these are, you can change the color yourself. You can add any other one as time goes on if you want to use it to customize your own Wireshak. But as far as it is concerned, this is the default one that is there. So if you see any color in your packets that you've just captured, you can just come here, just check the filter and what it means. So for the black one, we can see if it have a red text. It says that it's a bad TCP. And the other ones, as you can see, every other thing is there. So with time, we can just go through them later on to check what each one means. So just go back to this one and let's see what else we can do. We've talked about how to use filters. I've mentioned common filters. We can use the HTTP. We can use just IP address. So we can just type in IP.address equals, if you know the IP address, into the filter to just filter any traffic that is coming from one particular IP address. So that one is going to save you time if you want to focus on one particular device and you don't want to care about every other data that's been captured. So filter is very, very good. Make use of it so that you'll also reduce your time, that the time that you're using analyzing different data that at the end of the day might not be useful. So it's good to focus on the primary aim of why you need to capture and analyze such data. So this is just an example of HTTP on another. I think I did this one earlier on when I was putting the class together. So here are some HTTP traffic. All right, so yeah, how to inspect the packets. We've also talked about this. Okay, another thing we can do, I'll quickly talk about the statistics tab here. Under the statistics tab, there are lots, all this with time, if we have time in the subsequent class, we can take a look at it, but I just want us to focus on protocol hierarchy and conversation at the moment. So I'm going to open this protocol hierarchy, and this way we can see all the protocols that we need to focus on this particular packet capture. So we have Internet, IP version 4, we have UDP, we have TCP, and all this one, you can see all the information here. This one is going to tell you the percentage of the packet, the bytes, and every other thing. And why this is very important is by the time you start analyzing, like I said, you might have to just analyze the UDP data. You might just want to do TCP control protocol. From here, you can come and even apply it as a filter from here. Just watch. Once you select it, if you go back, you will see already it has applied all the TCP. And these are all the protocols. So sometimes You might just go through that statistics to apply your filter as well. Protocol hierarchy, just come here. If you want to do, sometimes it will have HTTP if that is what you want to analyze. But all the packet captures, they are not the same. Different, you can decide to capture a packet, and what you have in what you captured in the morning might be different from what you captured in the evening. So it's no two packets are the same. So it depends on what you're looking for, what happened during the course of the communication on the network. So those are some of the things you have to also watch out. So sometimes you can be given different pickups and you may not find something similar. You just have to keep looking for what you need to look out for in the ones you are being given to analyze. So I've just talked about that protocol hierarchy now. And let's just quickly take a look at conversation, statistics. If you go to conversation as well, this one even simplifies it. So if you want to look at TCP, like I said, these are 20. So it will tell you from this address, this one IP address, this is the port, going to this address B, this is the port number, 6 packets are being transferred. This is the byte, packet A to B, they did it 3 times, bytes and all that. So all this information are very useful. Like I said, you can also use it to check excessive bandwidth. You understand? You can use it to check how, you can use it to check like, why is this particular IP address, what are they sharing that it is too much? You understand? You can use it to look at it that 530 bytes, what is it that they are sharing? So that way you can use it to like suspect if something is, can actually be more, even more than sometimes a whole lot of transfer between the 2 IP addresses. So that way you can use your lens as a detector to say something is wrong, I'm suspecting something is wrong. So from there you can start analyzing and pick up that particular IP address to say, okay, what's going on between these 2 IP addresses? So from there you copy it, check, go to VirusTotal. If you think, oh, this IP address is suspicious, check it out and look at what is happening with the IP address. Another thing I want us to look at again, which is very important, is we've captured this data now. Sometimes you might be asked to just find out if there is any infected file or any infected system or any infected URL. So this is where you can come here to export objects and go to this HTTP. Okay, Moses, do you have a question? I can see you raised your hand up.
Yeah, Esther, I want to ask, uh, noting the bytes, and if I
Mm,
want to walk further, is
mm.
there any way I can actually know what particular document or whatever the actual
Yeah,
document that the person is transferring?
yeah, that's where I want to go now.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's where I want to go now. So this is export object and HTTP. Like I mentioned earlier, sometimes when you use some filters, you might not get exactly what you want to get. Probably that particular capture does not contain what you filtered for, what you want to see. So sometimes you might just have to like find another way to do it. But there is one website that have samples of different packet capture, but it's very it's good for practice sake, but it's advisable most of the time to use it in an enclosed environment like VirtualBox. You understand? So that you don't infect your system. But it's really not saying, but it's just that we can still open it in Wireshak, but it's just that we're not going to open it on our laptop. We're just going to import it directly into Wireshak. So I'll just quickly run through. Let's see what I have here. And I'm going to open one so that we can use it to practice tonight. So We talked about the next thing is how to save and export the data that we've captured. So I'll just quickly show us that one. Once you're done, let's say you've captured your data, just come to save and save it. And just save it, give it a name, save it wherever you want to save it, and that's it. So right now, any question so far? Any questions so far? So just to give a summary before we open the other file that we're going to analyze, if you want to start capturing the packets, this is the icon you're going to use. Once you start, says, okay, you're going to start, it's going to start afresh. Once you're okay with your capture, you come to the next one, just stop it. That means you're done with capturing what you need to capture. Under file, we have, if you want to open a new capture, I'm going to use this open right now. Other than that, we also talked about this export subject. We're coming back to it. Under edit, one thing I might probably ask us to check out here is preferences. If you want to customize your dashboard, I mentioned something about the column the last time. You can come here and add extra thing to your column. You can remove anything you want. Here's how you're going to add anything. Just add any title, add it, and add it to your column. And if you want to move things around, let's say you want the name to come to somewhere here, just drop it there. You're going to drop it there and just cancel. Under view, just quickly run through the tabs. I talked about coloring rules in this one, how to color your own conversation as well. You can make use of this. This one is just the same as the icons I've shown you just now under capture. To analyze as well, you can make use of this display filter, apply as a filter, just like I've shown us in this apply as a filter, this one here. Most of them are just in different forms. I talked about the protocol hierarchy here and the conversations. Every other thing is very useful, but for the purpose of this class, we're just going to stick with protocol hierarchy and the conversation for now. This one, we're not going to look at it right now. And yeah, so right now, I've downloaded the file. I'm going to share the website with us later on so that we can go there, but let's just continue to follow this class. So I have the two files here. There is one with the date 21/01/2021. They have them up to 2024. Different incidents that have happened, malicious email, different incident. There are lots of packet captures there that you can use for practice purpose. So let's just open this one. So you can see this one is not a live capture. It has opened it as a capture that was captured and saved. So they might give you like a saved capture file, pickup file as it's being called, and ask you to analyze it. So this is it right now. If you're given, you open it. And like I said, the first question you might be asked, what is the source IP address? Anyone can tell me the source IP address and tell me why you think that's the source IP address. Anyone?
The
Like
source
I
of the
mentioned,
address
okay, yeah.
is
There's a column that says source at it.
Okay.
Very good, yeah. There's a column that says source IP address. Let's say if for any reason it's not there, you can go to your edit, preference, columns, add, in case it's not there, just add it. You understand? Just come here, add it. Give it a name. If you come here, you can choose from it will give you options of what you can add from this column here. So in case it's not there, you can come and do it here. Yeah. So very good. Source IP address. That means the first data that was captured is from this source and is going to this destination. That's the destination. So they can ask you
Sorry,
what is.
Esther. So
Yeah.
it means we can add to the list the time, source.
Yeah, you can add to your column. You can remove anything you don't want here.
Okay.
You can remove anything you don't want there, just to make sure that you make it as clean as possible, so that if there's anything that you think will distract whatever thing you are doing in your analysis, you can remove it so that you focus on what you need to focus on. You get what I mean? So you can remove from the column, like this is how you're going to do it. Let me say I want to take this one now. Just right click it and remove this column. It's not there again. I can do the same thing for this one as well. Remove it. You understand? And you can shift things around and decide to align left, center, things like that, you understand, to make it look nice. Yeah. So another thing you can be asked is filter all the HTTP traffic. And like I said, there are very simple things that we're doing tonight. HTTP, just put it. Once you see that that thing has turned green, that means a good filter. If it's still showing red, something is wrong. Your filter is not complete. So we are filtering all the HTTP. Can we see now? So in order for you not to repeat typing HTTP again next time, remember I told you that you can save it. So you just come here and click add a display filter. This is it. You can just put, you can decide to give it any name, unsecured traffic, or just give it port 80, or depending on what you import, 80. So next time, just save it. Okay. So if I come out of this place now, and I want to filter this, I'll just come to where I have it and click it. That's very easy. So we have to just keep finding a way to make our job very easy. So next time you use any filter that you think is really good, just quickly save it. Next time, you don't need to start thinking, oh, what filter am I going to use? Just click on it and it will help you to sort out all your traffic. So this way, you can see all your HTTP traffic. Remember the last time I said we can go to file, export object. I think there was someone that asked the question, how are you going to see if there is a particular file or something you need to analyze that is being infected? Here is one way we can check it. Export the HTTP object list. This way you can see all the things you have. Who can tell me, based on just by observation, how will you know which file to suspect? Usually, anything that has to do with, like, you see anything like an application that you're sure that is not, that is not on your network, let's say like in your organization or in your house, and you know you don't have this particular application on any of the devices at home, and when you run your Wireshak, you're seeing something like there's an application, you can start suspecting it that maybe during the exchange of data online from any IP address in your house to somewhere else, there's a software that has been downloaded on any of the device or that is still on your network. So you can see here you have the host name. Sometimes it won't tell you the host name. You can use IP addresses to go look for the host name on VirusTotal, 𝐸/Void, whois lookup. This is where all these hosting tools also come handy, and you have to start using them, combine it with Wireshak to make your work very easy and find the correct information you're looking for. So this way, anything that has to do with like application, by the time you start seeing that, they will be like the first suspects. So sometimes you'll see them, there will be a lot, and sometimes they could just be few. So all these ones that have this application, you have to suspect them. Look at the host name. You can even start from the host name, copy the URL. Let's take this first one, for example. Let's copy OSP. Let's see, can I copy? Okay, digisat.com. Okay. Let's just quickly go to virus total. Okay. OSP. So no security vendor has flagged it as being OSCP. Okay, I know that I think there is a C. OSCP. Okay, let's do it again. Yeah, no security has flagged it as being malicious. Okay. We can decide to take the next one. There's another one here, s2simcb.com. Not flagged. Let's take this one. Okay, this is the same one. There's another one. Okay, this is another one. Okay, CV. Okay, let's take this one. So you can decide to do that for all of them. Like I said, it might just be like an innocent software, but then you can't leave it out. Just try to analyze everything. And another thing you can do also, you can save it as a file. You can save them as I'll show you how you can save them as a file. Because there's an option in VirusTotal that you can analyze a file. So you can save it as a file. So once you click on one of it, go to save and you can save it as a file. I'll save it. I'll save it on the download and just save it. So we'll come back. So if you come back to Wireshak, okay. So you can go to the file option here and choose a file. Go to download. There's it. It's checking. That's another way you can do it. So you can use it like that. There's another software that you can also use, but I tried to download it before the class, but I'll tell us the name. Is like you can use it to check the hash value, and the reason is that sometimes if you have a file that you're not sure if you want to put it on an OSINT website, maybe based on the confidentiality on the file, you can use the hash value of that file to test instead of you just uploading the file there. So there is a way that you can convert the file to get the hash value. There's one software. Yeah, but I tried downloading it before the class, but it's giving me asking for permission on that website. I wasn't too really sure about the website, so I left it, but I'm still going to share with us later. By the time I get the green light, that it's good to download it. So we can use that one instead of uploading the normal file. So that one also we're trying to keep the data confidential by not just exposing it on an open source tool. So that's how you're going to do it. It doesn't mean all the pickups are going to be free of malware, just like the ones we have here. We've done like a random sample, but in the ideal sense, you have to like analyze everything, because once you have them as applications content type, they are suspect. So you have to do everything. You can also use you can also sometimes try some images. Sometimes they can come as images, GIFs. You can see them content type. You see them .img. If you're suspecting that what kind of image is this, because sometimes they hide malicious code into image also. They embed them. You can also copy it and save it as a file. Just we've saved this one and also run it on. Any questions so far? How is it going? All right.
Fine. I think we move from file, right?
Yes.
File
File,
tag, right? Okay.
export objects, HTTP, and
Okay.
yeah. So let me just quickly talk about another question we can be asked. We can be asked to check like the secured, let's check the secured SSL. We know SSL is also is being used by HTTPS, so we can decide to check all the secured layer, socket layer as well, all the traffic there, and we can right click one of it, and we have to click on follow, and just follow this TCP stream. What can we see here? Can we understand whatever thing that is here? Who can tell me what's going on here? Who can tell me what's going on here? This information is not readable. What happened to it?
Does it mean that it is hashed?
Yeah, it's encrypted because we're analyzing HTTPS. You understand? It's encrypted.
It's
So
secured.
that's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So and because you don't have the key to decrypt it, you can't see it. So sometimes encrypted that also helps you to test if probably you have any information or anything on your own network as well, just to test that if the encryption is still, understand, if it's still working, so that if anybody intercepts the traffic, will they be able to see what is inside your communication over the network, probably within the organization, you understand? So you can also use it to test and see if everything looks good in that area as well. So I'll just quickly talk about the ones we have here. Let me just go back, close this filter, and let's go back to all right. There's this particular this one here. I added it earlier and I'm going to remove it, and I'll tell you why I put it there. The same thing as the info. They can also ask you the question, what is the host name of the device, like the host device? What's the host name? And why this is very important is, let's say, for example, if there is a particular computer in the organization that they notice that that's where the attack is coming from, based on organizations, rules, and some security protocol, all the devices in the organization, they have their own names. So on the network, they can see any computer that is assigned, for example, to Tosin or to Adebayo, they know the name. They can see it. Even if you rename it, whatever thing you name it, they have an identifier. They can know this desktop is assigned to this person. So in security incidents, or if there's anything that happened and there's an infected device, this is the way they can quickly take it out of the system. So once they notice what is the host machine that is being infected, if nobody maybe at that time can't get hold of anything, with Wireshak, they can quickly come and check. There's a filter here that I put here. You can use this filter, like I said, depends on the packets that you have captured. Sometimes you can use, there's another filter you can use. You can use, what's it called? DCHP, dynamic, this DHCP, yeah. DHCP. Sometimes DHCP may not work. You can decide to use NB, that's the NetBIOS name system as well. You understand? You can use that filter. It works as this same Kerberos as well. So this way, once you click on it, you can see this is the name. From the info, you can get, like I said, put the columns that you know that is going to really be useful for what you want to look at. So you may not even need to start going to analyze a lot of things. From your column alone, you can get some information you need. except if you now want to dig further. So this is the name of the host, and this is the desktop. That's the name of the desktop. Well, with this, they can quickly identify and just tell this person that is responding to the incident, oh yeah, take this device, remove it from the network before the infection will spread, before the malware will start spreading to other devices, you understand? So this is why analyzing network is very important. And with the help of Wireshak, it makes it very easy, even for us as beginners or anyone that is interested in network analysis, to use this tool. Wireshak is very, very advanced. As basic as it is, it's really advanced to do even complex network analysis and the rest. But we can start with our Wi-Fi at home. We don't need to have like big data to analyze. Like I said, run your live capture, leave it for some time. Like I think I was explaining to Tosin not too long ago. My son clicked on an unsecured website. It was like some weeks ago, and I was so tired, already sleeping, and he came and he was like my system is active. Like I was even thinking he was joking, like, why will you don't joke? And he brought it, and I was just seeing that red alert. So the IP address was from Russia. And because I just knew the right thing to do, I just felt like, okay, what's the first thing I would do? Even though I was tired, my brain was just like, I have to disconnect. The first thing is I have to take take it out of the network. I quickly removed his device, IP address, everything, blocked him on the device, Windows firewall. I blocked him, my son's laptop, I removed everything, blocked him, and immediately I turned on Wireshak on my own laptop. I quickly turned it off. I was analyzing to see if there's still connection from that destination IP address from Russia still connecting to any device in the house. Imagine if I don't have Wireshak, I don't even have the knowledge. I might not be able to sleep that night. Might be thinking, I don't know by the time I wake up, what would have happened. You understand? So, but with Wireshak, in less than 30, 40 minutes, everything was under control because I just knew, like, once I've taken him out of the network, every other thing I can sleep and I'll sort it out the next day. And I just put Wireshak on live capture. I was watching it for like few hours. I was trying to see what IP address is connecting with anyone in the house. And I watched it for like 30 minutes. And I was also very sure just to test that if indeed when I blocked and took my son's IP address off the network, if it was done correctly. Because I also scanned to see if his own IP is still on Wireshak. I couldn't see it. You understand what I mean? So Wireshak is very useful. Even for our own personal life, like I mentioned earlier on, we can use it to even track, monitor our kids, websites they are visiting, just to censor whatever thing they are doing as well. At work, very useful for professional development. It helps us to analyze basic things such as source IP, destination IP, sorting out all DNS traffic, sorting out all secure traffic, sorting out all unsecure traffic. You might be asked if there's any infected file, just like I've shown us. We might have another infected file, probably from the second pickup. This one is from, okay, let me just open. Probably we still have some few more minutes. Let me just do this so that we'll see. That's the second pickup. I'll just quickly open it. I think we can still do something. Let's go to File, Object Export, and let's see if we find anything. All right. I mentioned earlier we might have some images. You can see this content type. There are some images there. So let's see. There are lots of application. You can see there are lots of application, PHP file extension, some other ones. There's one executable file here. There's one .bin. These are some of the host name. So we can even start from, let's see this one that says 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓. Okay, let's go to virus total and URL run. Okay, and let's just search. Can we see this one? Flagged as 3 out of 96 security vendor flagged it, and even just 6 days ago it was flagged. It was flagged 6 days ago, and for you to know that this packet capture is from like 2021, and this malicious website is still, you understand, still trying to like inflict people, still trying to like steal credentials for whatever reason, or that is spreading the software, the malicious software. So if we go to details, we can see more details about it. And let's read more association. Let's see what is being said about it. Community, let's see what someone says about it. Yeah. So, but as you can see, it's been detected as being malicious. So here is some of the example. Like I said, sometimes you can look at it in terms of the application that is being sent. This is another IP address. You can decide to check this one out as well. This is another website. This one, satosseed.com, and let's try that one as well. Let's see what's up with the website. Yeah, this one to have 14 out of 96 security vendors so flagged this. The last analysis that was being reported was 22 days ago. And if we look at it, it says it's phishing, the malware, and we can see, let's see any other details that is said about it. The category in which it's being classified as a spyware, is a malware, it's used botnets. Let's see what is being said about it. Nothing much. No, there's no other comments, but we can see that it has been reported already by 14 out of 96 vendors. So this will tell you that what is the next thing you now be asking yourself, okay, after I've analyzed it, I've seen that it is malicious, what's the next thing to do? So as a security analyst, the next thing you start putting recommendation, you know, already you have to like block this particular website, and all the files or any other thing that you found on the network, you have to quarantine, you have to eradicate them. You have to eradicate them. If there is any incident response plan in the organization that you have, how do you take out malicious software? There should be like a procedure on how to take them out. You just swing into action and you've identified it. This is the host name. From the host name, you can get the IP address. So if you need to block based on the host name or the IP address, block it. Quarantine any infected device that might have affected in the organization, and also remove any file that you find on the network. You understand? So you might have to just do it for it. Like I said, any content type that will have something like application, you have to just, they're all suspects. So you have to do, you can see already this 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓.com. So everything that has to do with that one, you have to block them. All the files you can see here, all the file name, look for them and remove them from your organization's network or your own network as well. The same thing with this SATOSEED, you can see all the applications there. Since the website itself, the URL itself is malicious, everything from there. You can see we still have some of them down. You know, I said it earlier on that it might not just be like the application content type alone. Sometimes it could be in form of images or some other text file. We can see under SATOSEED, there's still some text file. And there's another website here. This one probably also might be malicious as well. So Is there someone that is willing to share the screen? Let me just see what we've done. Anyone willing to share the screen and help us to check this tonemat.domain.com, whatever it's called. Who is ready to share his or her screen? Anyone? All right,
I think
my
you are sharing already.
Okay, yeah, I'll stop sharing. All right. Can you share now?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll drop the. Okay, just check the. I'll drop the name of the in the chat. Let me just copy the name of the. It's Tonemat.
Okay, I should go to virus.total.
Yes. I've put the name in the chat. If you copy it from there. Yeah. If you copy it from them and check for us if it's a text file, HTML type of content, but we can't rule it out. Let's just, because that website, if you didn't visit the website on your network and you just find it that there's a connection in between this website and the device on your network, you might just suspect it and say, who is visiting this website and what information are they sending on your network?
Okay.
So copy the name from the chat and put it there, and let's just see and search. Is it malicious? I think it's malicious as well. Yeah. So it's been reported, and yeah, there's
As malicious.
yeah, it's malicious, and I think there's still an activity on it like some minutes ago as well, 32 minutes ago. Yeah,
Okay.
13, yeah. So for you to know that it's still a very active malicious software. So these are some of the things that we can do to inspect some of these files. And like I mentioned earlier on, you can also save them as files. Click on it, just come to save, so that you don't have to just keep going back and forth to be copying the domain name. You can save it because there are a lot of files. Click on it one by one, save it. You'll probably find a folder somewhere on your system, maybe on the download or desktop. Open a folder there and just you understand, just open a folder so that you can put everything together in a folder, and you start putting them on VirusTotal through the other tab. There's another tab that have file, and just analyze it that way. So once you're sure that this domain is malicious, so the next one will be like the next action. What are you going to do? Block them from your network. Block them, and once you are able to find out wherever the files are, you can even do, like, even if it's on your own personal laptop, you can go to taskbar, what's it called, task manager on your by clicking Alt Control Delete. You see your task manager. You see all the processes that are running on your network or on your device, on your computer. So that way you can see anything that is active, that is running. You You can also check for the data packet, like I've mentioned. Anything that is using excessive bandwidth, you can suspect it immediately, like there's something going on. Why is this? What are they transferring? What's going on between that particular application or the processes on that uh, particular application or whatever thing that is going on there. So you have to suspect it, and from there you can see it and stop the process. And if you can find any way that is being saved on your device, just quickly remove it. And if you have any strong antivirus on your system or your device, just quickly scan your device again to be free from anything that might probably be downloaded on your device. So any other person willing to share what they've done, I'll give us just 1-2 minutes each. I just want to be sure everyone is practicing. And if we have any question in between, let's put it in the chat box. If you want to ask any question, let's raise up our hand. Who is going to share the screen next? Adebayo, do you want to go? Maiwa. Adebayo, Maiwa. Anyone?
I'm unable to share because I'm working through the
All
external
right.
monitor.
All right, no worries.
Yeah.
So, Esther, so if you are being tested on the interview, there's probability that they don't give you the labels, the time, source, destination. So they'll ask you
You just
to.
be given a pickup file. Even you might be given, and they might probably just ask you to explain or talk through how. Might perhaps ask you just a simple question, like I said, there's an infected file that has been detected on the network. What will you do? You understand? What will you do? They might ask you a simple question like that, or they might just probably ask you uh, how to filter HTTP traffic, because that's like the most of the traffic that really like a concern. Any unsecured traffic that is coming in and out of on your network. So just like a talk through to say, okay, I know how to analyze network traffic. This is what I'm looking out for. I'm looking out for HTTP connection because it's an unsecured port. Start explaining like that. They might probably ask you to do some other thing depending on the question you are being given. So what you need to do is just to understand, like I said, tailor filter your pickup based on what you're looking for. They might just ask you to look for, maybe there's a connection. Like for example, if you're pinging a network, pinging another device, you might not find the device on the network, like it's not connecting. You might decide to use Wireshak and run it and see if you can find it. So from there, you are troubleshooting a communication problem. You understand? So like I also said earlier on, all the network protocols that we've learned, OSI model, everything comes in handy under network. You can't under Wireshak. Everything. I'll just share my screen again. Share my screen again. So everything comes in handy under Wireshak. If we look at all these columns here, if we click on any of this, look at the frame. I'm going to change something right now, just the layout. Let me just go to edit. I'll go to preference. I'll go to layout. You can see the one I have here is this 1, 2, 3. You can decide to do it side by side. Like this first one, this pane one that have those green packets is just to show you the list. This second one is showing you more details. The third one is showing you the bytes. I can decide to say, let the third one show me the packet diagram. And I'll click on OK. Can we see? The third one I've changed. Who can remember this diagram? Can remember this diagram? It looks familiar. Under OSI model, if we remember all the data link, that is where you find all those frame header, and all those ones. So it will help you to analyze the pack. It gives you like that overview of everything. So you're looking at not just the details, you're looking at not just the list, you are looking at so many things under each protocol. Under the network layer, you are looking at something else under the data link layer, under the application, under the session, you understand? So depending on which area you are analyzing, so that you don't focus your energy on things at the end of the day, you don't need it. You understand? Like I've said, I've told you the simple things you can ask, look for any infected device. So what you need to do is look for the source IP address. And what will you do after you've identified it? Block it. If it's infected, block it. If it will be used for, if the information will be used for something else, you just put it in your report. So you're going to write your report to say, on this day, on the 23rd of November 2024, it started that a source IP address 192.10.14 received a data packet from a source destination IP address, this, and it contains this. I suspected that it was malicious, so I followed the TCP stream, analyzed the data. I later found out, after putting the host name, the URL name or the IP address on VirusTotal, I discovered it has been flagged by 16 vendors as being malicious. You start putting up your report like that. So anybody that is going to read your report at the end of the day, they can see all the things you have done to convince them that indeed you know why they actually know why you took the decision to block that IP address from the network. You understand? So based on all this analysis, at the end of the day, you now give your recommendation. Maybe in the future, we can include this recommendation on our incident response plan. Maybe when you were doing your analysis, you find out a better way to analyze the packet, or maybe you find out that you could do it in another way that has not been done before. All those kind of little recommendations that will help other security analysts or even the organization to keep their network secured. Put the recommendation there and close your report. And the report will be there for future references, or for any other person coming in that will have the same issue. They'll be able to know what to do if anything happens like that in the future, you understand? So that's it. So many things to learn about Wireshak. So we just getting started tonight, and I hope I've been able to open our eyes to what we can do with Wireshak tonight. And I still have 2 more minutes. Any question from anyone? Any feedback for tonight? I'm going to send us a task that we're going to do. I'll send you this packet that we used tonight, and I'll ask some questions, and we're going to write a report, just like I've mentioned, just a summary of what you analyzed from the packet based on the question I'll ask from the task that will be given. So just a simple report. Tell us what happened, what did you do? The questions will be there on the task. So I'll send it out after the class. Any questions for tonight? Feedbacks? All right. In the absence of any question, I want to thank everyone for joining tonight, and we'll see you in the next class. Thanks for your time and take care.
Sorry.
Yes, you want to
Thank you,
say something?
Esther. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to know our next class, please.
Yeah, lead part will communicate to you. We'll communicate to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
but I'll send the task by tomorrow. I'll send it out tomorrow. And just one more thing, please, if you want to open the PCAP, once I send it to you, once you download it, let it be in your download folder. Don't open it. You understand? Don't open it. If you have VirtualBox or hypervisor or anyone you're using on your desktop, if it's let me just stop sharing. Tosin,